What up, y'all? Your boy R to the A to the S. Yes. Rise here, proceed across the bar. And today I want to talk about, man, and I ask y'all, what do y'all think? Are Christian rappers unchained? Or are they slaves? Been listening to a lot of Sho Baraka interviews, and just a lot of his concerns about putting out this album. And what's really disturbing me is like, does he feel free to be himself? And if he has these concerns about being himself, whether it's going to sell, or whether that's people going to say, well, you too radical or whatever, then what about other artists? Is this really a concern in our genre where artists are not truly being themselves because it might get blackballed, it might be perceived wrong, it might not sell? And I'm not denying that business plays a part in this. Obviously money plays a part. People put out this product so they can make money, you know, partly. I'm not saying that's the main motivation, but that's part of it, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if there is a fear of the industry, of what they might think, or I can't say this because this is not acceptable, or I can't, like, let's use Sho example, like, some people are kind of happy that he was able to express his blackness on this album. What are there other artists who might feel the same way, but they can't do it because it's not acceptable, or churches might be offended by it, or it might cause controversy? See, the problem, when I grew up on hip-hop, I mean, it was controversial. Like Tupac, and I'm not talking about the Tupac, the Machiavelli, the gangster talk. I'm talking about like Tupacalypse, not Tupac. He was saying stuff that's controversial about cops. He spoke what he felt. Public Enemy, they spoke what they felt, and they're regarded as one of the greatest hip-hop groups ever. But when it comes to racial issues, they were not politically correct. And I'm not saying I agree with everything they said. There were some things about racism they said I agree with, some things not. But they were free to be themselves. And my question is, are Christian rappers free to be themselves? Like, would this be the only album? Like what we see with Sho? Is this the only album, or will this open up a floodgate? If you listen to Sho Baraka's interview, the industry is the way it is, this might be the only album like that. I pray to God it's not. But if artists have to be basically politically correct, I listened to Thizzle. He had an interview, and they asked him, like, what's the one thing you don't like about Christian rap? And he was like, artists feel they have to put a muzzle on themselves or they'll lose support. But he was saying, like, him, you know, he don't care. But a lot of artists do care. And if that's the mentality that I have to care, or these venues might be closed, or this church might not invite me in, this ain't hip-hop then, man. Because hip-hop should be free expression. And yes, what we're doing is great. We're spreading the gospel. But if I'm not free to speak freely, then I'm like a slave. To me, that's like a slavery. I only can speak on certain things, and if I speak on this, then to me that's slavery, man. But yeah, what do y'all think about this? Are Christian rappers free, or are they slaves? Can artists speak on, you know, the whole Bible? Because my thing is this, I can understand you get backlash because you just speaking your opinion. But if something is biblical and you receiving backlash, you can't say it. Like, Speaking of like what Sho talked about on here, or racial issues and justice, man, it's throughout the whole Bible. Greed, people abusing the poor, using the poor, that's biblical. But I can't speak on that because I might perceive as causing trouble or controversial or stirring up racial or being, here's this black guy talking about race again. If that's the mentality, I gotta live in fear that I can't express myself or I can't speak on certain topics because, the industry or the church might, then to me that's slavery, man. Christian rappers gotta be free to be themselves. And they're not free to be themselves, to me it's not real. It's really no different than the world. Because you have artists in the world that the image they portray, that's not them. But they gotta cater to that for business purposes. Is this the same thing going on in Christian rap? Yeah, they're telling the truth about the gospel, but they're not free to be themselves and speak on issues they're passionate about. That's slavery to me, man. But maybe I'm wrong. What do y'all think, man? Christian rappers free or are they slaves? This is Proceed with Cause and Blog. Couple sucks and I'm out. Trippers.